Hi everybody, my name is Dora Kurimay. I'm an author, performance coach, and former professional table tennis player in New York. You are listening to the Game Sat Match podcast. Have you ever wondered how the greats of any industry are always able to perform at a high level even under pressure? What is their secret? In this episode of Game Sat Match, we will uncover my personal experience and the obstacles I had to overcome to become a champion and the clients I have worked with.
Dora Kurimay joining us here. She's the founder of her own company. It's Dora Kurimay Incorporated, a New York-based company that offers coaching services from athletes to professionals, teams, and anyone who really seeks fulfillment and well-being in their mind, body, and spirit. She's here to help. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Hi, Jill. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please introduce yourself to our listeners today.
So my name is Dora Kurimay. I'm the founder of Dora Kurimay Incorporation, which is a New York-based company that offers coaching services.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit about really how you got your start in this business and what brought you into this field.
Sure. So I'm originally from Hungary, from Budapest. And I grew up there, and I started playing table tennis professionally there, and I experienced on myself the importance of mental game while I was competing. So I was already really interested in mental toughness and sport psychology. And on the other hand, my dad is a psychiatrist, so I learned about psychology in an early age since he's a psychiatrist, and I was always interested in observing people and also learning about the field.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm on the website. I urge everyone to do the same. It's DoraKurima.com, and you can see all of your work. By the way, you're an author as well. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about your workbook, your ebook as well, and really the work you do and helping those, really win their mindset, or as you say, get your game face on like the pros. So there's so much to you. It's exciting to have you here with us. Let's talk a little bit about, how you work with athletes and professionals in a sense.
I work with athletes. I help them to improve their mental skills, mental toughness, because it's the same, mental skills are the same, just learning a new stroke. I help them to increase their performance by teaching them techniques to basically increase their performance. So I'm covering topics like goal setting, stress management. I also help them to increase their self-confidence, also coping skills, also have to increase their stress management skills as well. And these are mental skills, so how I said it's the same like learning a new stroke in a sport. So you have to work on these skills, and anyone can improve these skills. And basically when I'm working with athletes, the first couple of sessions is about assessment. I do an assessment by asking questions, and I help them to identify their strengths and weaknesses that they want to work on. And after we start working on different skills that they can apply not just in their sports, but everyday life as well.
Wow, this is amazing work. So it's great to know that there's so many out there that you can help, and clearly with what you've done. Now, let me ask you this. So according to your website, when did you write your own book? That's a whole nother feat in itself. Can I just ask you about that?
I have a couple of different books. The first book that I've written, it was in 2012. It was Get Your Game Face On. That was the first one, and I was a co-author. And then there was an extended version of it, Get Your Game Face On Like the Pros, in 2014. And the most recent book is my stories of mental toughness on and off the table that I just published recently during the pandemic.
Wow, this is amazing. Where can we get your book?
So my books are available on my website, and as well as on Amazon.com as well.
Beautiful.
Yes, and basically I help athletes, and not just athletes, and professionals, and anyone interested in improving their performance.
Yeah.
Basically, these books about helping to get into the zone, flow, or the ideal performance state, because everyone can perform their best when they are at the right state. So, and the books are offering different steps how you can get in the zone.
Beautiful. And someone listening today might say, why should I work with her? Why don't you talk a little about the benefits of mental performance coaching, if you don't mind?
So there are many different benefits, and how I said mental performance coaching is so important, because what differentiates the best performance is usually the mental skills. And you have to also work on your mental skills. How I said, you want to get in the right state of whatever performance you do. And it's all about energy management, and you have to know yourself, and you have to know your strengths and basically weaknesses, and also improve the necessary mental skills and other skills that you could perform your best. So basically, when I work with anyone, I look at the person as a whole and identify their strengths and, how I said, areas for improvement, and also have them identify the obstacles and stressors which are there in way. And then we start working on the skills that they have to improve to be able to perform their best. And these skills, how I said, when I work with athletes, they can use it not just in sports, but outside of sports as well. And also when I work with professionals, it's the same way. Basically, you can use in their work as well as and outside of work as well, because these are life skills.
Got it. And let me talk a little bit about you and your starting. So table tennis. Tell us about you growing up and how you got involved in that sport.
I got involved in the sport in a really early age.
Mm-hmm.
I played with my family, but more in a casual way. But when I started playing more seriously, it was age 8. And my second cousin, he was a professional table tennis player that time, and he brought me in a training officially. But I played before as well as like a casual family activity with my family.
Aww.
So that's how I got started. And I started in Budapest, Hungary, in a really good club, which is an only female club. And at the beginning, I started playing twice a week. And after I got selected as a talent and started playing every day, basically.
Wow. And then now here you are like a champion. I watched your videos on the website, and I urge everyone to do the same. Could you remind us of the website one more time?
The website is DoraKurimay.com. So www.DoraKurimay.com.
Awesome. Well, this is amazing, the work you do. And could you give us some examples of some of the people that you've helped? I mean, you also do table tennis lessons as well, right? So besides the high performance coaching for individuals and teams, the mental performance coaching, you do offer table tennis lessons too, right?
Yes, it's correct.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, let me just share with this. I want to hear some stories, but I know you've worked with, Olympic medalists, USA table tennis team. This person says, as someone who also moved to the U.S., I could absolutely relate to Dora's experiences, which are both heartwarming and inspiring. Whether you're an aspiring or competitive athlete or a professional, the book provides useful mental toughness tips, simple guide to success. Dora's stories also serve as a good reminder of the importance of mental health, ever so important in our unpredictable world. That's from, Yu Wu, team captain?
Yes, it's from her.
Perfect. There's so many great reviews about this and, about being present. And there was an 11-year-old elite competitive gymnast mom that you helped. Could you talk about some of these stories about the people you've helped?
I worked with many different athletes from age 8 till age 40, 50. So it's a wide range. And we worked on, basically, I always work with athletes what their needs are, and it varies. But in general, what I usually work on is help them to increase their self-confidence and also help them to manage stress in general and also help them to focus better. So these are basically usually the main topics. And of course, how I said, it's also important not just what they do during competitions and the training, but other areas of their life is also very important. So I also help them and guide them regarding basically their personal life as well. So I help them with those aspects as well. And I mean, a couple of times happened that there was a little discrepancy between the athletes and the coach or the parents. So I also help to manage those relationships as well, and if it's necessary.
Amazing. And we do have to take a quick commercial break here. So would you mind giving us phone number, any social media pages, of course, your website again, anything that would help?
So my phone number is 347-849-1563. And my website, again, is www.dorakurimay.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here. And we are so excited to have our guest here, our performance coach, Dora Kurimay. And she's here talking about the work she does as a high performance coach, mental performance coach, table tennis lessons. She does it all. And she's pretty amazing. I know you mentioned a little about your father as a psychologist growing up. Did you want to discuss a little further about your upbringing? I saw some of that in your notes, which I think is important for people to share.
So, how I said, I've been interested in psychology since a young age, since my dad is a psychiatrist, and I heard about the theories of Freud young from by the time I was in high school, and I was always interested to observing people and also analyzing them since I was more an introvert, and how I said, my dad is a psychiatrist and family therapist and psychotherapist. So I already learned about psychology in a young age. So when I was growing up, it was normal for me to be interested in the field of psychology. And also another thing is that I'm coming also from a sporty family, and my sister played professional tennis. That also helped me to be more interested in high performance since I was in a high performance environment.
Wow. Well, clearly you've affected many and you work so diligently to help so many people. How do you personally stay so mentally strong? Would you have any tips for our listeners on the mindset of each and every day?
I'm a believer of creating healthy lifestyle routines. Choices are very important, so I'm also following them. Meditation, yoga, and also exercise routine is really good for the health. So I like to create routines in my life and also focus on always what you can control, because many times people get frustrated but because they are focusing on things that they cannot control. So that's very important, and it also helps you to manage stress better. And lastly, I would say energy management is crucial. So always think about what gives you energy and do those activities.
Wow.
As well, because positive emotions are very important, but also creating good energy in general is very important.
Yeah. Now, would you mind sharing a little bit about some obstacles that you had to overcome as well? I know we talked a little about your table tennis and playing, but you also had some obstacles in your own life. I think this is why you're so extra strong, and right? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I had many obstacles. So I would say I have an early memory. I would say that it was a difficult challenge that I had to came through at an early age when I broke my ankle at age 11, and I had to recover from that, and then at the same time also made the national team the first time. So that was a very challenging moment in an early age and showed me how I can basically overcome and conquer my physical and psychological skills. That was definitely a very important life experience the first time. And I would say the second one was very challenging, but how I said I had many challenging memories that I had to come through. It's the first time when I moved to the U.S., to California, and I had to adopt the culture. I had to improve my language skills. I had to interact with new people, make new friends, and create a support system. And I had to be open-minded about everything, and also realize that things can work differently. And definitely that time helped me to develop a growth mindset that helped me to adopt and basically re-establish myself. Thanks to my hard work and growth mindset, I graduated with great grades at the university that I studied, at the Jill Nicolini University, and I met new people. I made a diverse group of friends, and also I started playing table tennis for fun after 5 years of not touching my paddle, and I began playing again, and I was really excited to test how I could apply my newly developed sport psychology skills, and because I tried to do my best, and I was, I think, focusing on my right things. I all of the results, I still got ranked top 10 in the U.S. within 2 years of moving to California, and I graduated with great grades. So that was definitely a good challenge.
Beautiful. Wow. Oh, you have a lot that you've accomplished, and clearly you're not on the path of slowing down at all. And you mentioned you wear many hats, right? Coach, mental performance coach, speaker, author, adjunct faculty. Where do you teach at as well? Just curious.
I supervise sport psychology students online. I teach at Jill Nicolini University, which is at the umbrella of National University. It's in California. And I supervise students weekly. Basically, I watch the videos, how they work with athletes, and I give them feedback. They're having their sessions, individual or group sessions, and I provide them feedback how they can do better.
Perfect. Well, also, can you talk about the mentors that you had in your life and during your career?
Absolutely. Mentors are very important. And my mentors were my coaches, teachers, and professors in my life. And I want to say a big thank you to all of them, because they really helped me and also helped me to become who I am. And, of course, it's also important to mention that I had my parents to talk things over with growing up. I'm also a believer, whenever you are working with someone, even if you are mentoring or you are the professional, you're always learning whoever you are working with. So it's whenever somebody's teaching or coaching or working with someone, it's not just a one-way learning. You're also learning from the other person who you are working with.
Beautiful. And I know you believe in equality for all men, women, whomever, right? You mentioned that, it's true. Really, to, work with female, males, it shouldn't matter, right? Creating healthy and positive norms, equal pay, also good, and women should have the same opportunities as men as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's very important to provide the same opportunities, and it's very important to have equity, inclusion, and diversity at the workplace.
Beautiful. And
everyone should...
Go ahead.
And I just wanted to say, it's very important that everyone should feel the belonging regardless from their gender, race. It's very, very important.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here, for joining us. I'm going to answer with one of your quotes from Mary Angelou. You said, whatever you want to do, if you want to be great at it, you have to love it, be able to make sacrifices for it. That's beautiful. Could you tell us how we can reach out to you directly, Dora?
Absolutely. So I have my phone number, which is 347-849-1563, and my email address is DORA@DORAKURIMAY.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you for being here, for joining us, and looking forward to the next time we get to speak. Dora, thanks again for your time. And to all of our listeners, we also appreciate you and thank you for listening.
I hope you got a lot of value from this episode. Thank you for listening. I have included a link in the description below where you can get a free copy of my high performance ebooks to help you to take your performance to the next level. Until next time, take care.